Hello everyone, welcome to UMATA. I'm G-Man, coming to you from Florida. Who matters? You matter. That's right. Today we got another set of videos, and I got my handy notepad to go over some of these things. What I'm going to talk about today is, why are we all so goddamn fat? Well, there's a very simple reason for why we're so fat. The simple reason is because we have these little things called brains, and over time, and not only do we have these things called brains, but we're inventors, we're tool builders. And over time in society, we've collected a handsome amount of stuff, pretty cool stuff. And with all this stuff, we've created many different manufacturing processes that allow us to now produce goods and services, particularly food, in a capacity that has never been fathomable before in history. That's why we're fat. The other thing that has changed is these computer internet devices. What these computer internet devices allow us to do is they allow us to communicate ideas and things like that from one brain to another without having to physically be in the same place of the person you're transferring that knowledge to, either from your mouth to their ears. Those are the two main reasons why we're so fat. And what I mean by that is, you no longer have to go and put real effort in to build something. I don't care if you're a farmer or a construction worker. Even those guys know, because I have a house on a farm in North Dakota, and I do some work out there. Even those guys know they're lazy now, and they're big. A lot of guys in construction and farming are overweight. And why is that? Because you don't have to get out of the tractor anymore, or if you do need to do something, you have a tool or an instrument that automates 80% of the inputs to apply force into something or to do work. And so we're in a state now where it's so cheap and easy to produce food in a mass way. And on top of that, you don't need to be physically active at a day job anymore, because you don't need to be physically there like you used to. You don't have to drive every day anymore. You don't need to wait on someone anymore. You can just call them. And if you were to take charts of when we really got overweight, you could really pinpoint it down to the internet. And it was when work became sedentary and instant, without having to physically be where you need to be some fractional component of the day. That's really where things took off. And it also has to do with the socialization of people. If you look at how people used to interact, you'd have to go and physically be there. Now with cell phones, which came back out in the late 90s, certainly in the 2000s, and now with computers, we're able to produce ideas and products without having to physically go be somewhere. And we're also able to physically consume entertainment and social interactions without having to physically be with someone. And it's the technologies that have replaced the need of physically being in a certain location with other people that has dislocated the need to be active. And it's that activity that has decreased to get the same amount of work done. And in addition, the abundance of supply that's created from a tractor or a plow. If you just take a look at the amount of food we can produce in 1 acre today, it is multiples upon multiples of even where it was in the 80s, let alone the 50s. And those are the two primary reasons why we're so damn fat. And we've gotten to a point now where we've had it so easy for so long we don't really know the subtle effects of it until now, you know, where diabetes is sky high, depression rates are sky high, anxiety rates sky high. You know, why is that? Well, it's because we're not interacting with people in a physical way anymore, in an active way. And you could take someone who runs a 5K marathon, and yes, they're thin and they're fit, but the reality is even someone in that capacity doesn't really have to work as hard at what they do as someone that had to do it 50 years ago. So now we have entered this era of society that's not going backwards, where we have to answer the question, you know, what do you do with abundance? How do you manage abundance when we as a species are genetically encoded to work in a form of scarcity and poverty, really? And that's the key criticality of why we're so damn big. And you have to overcome that. And we'll go over that in other videos, but these are things to think about, you know, as we deal with these. Like, comment, subscribe. Please comment, because I love that. I like interacting with other people.